Made it. Hey, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. I figure I'm going to press play if it's the last thing I do, and I was determined to do it before 3 o'clock. First I said noon, and then I said 2, and I got here, and there was 100 things to do. Whew, but here I am. Hi, y'all. Happy Wednesday. Wonderful Wednesday. It's been a doozer. I'm telling you, today has been something else. I had to get up at the crack of dawn. You guys will say, what else is new, right? But Kylia had, my baby girl, had an MRI this morning. And so, of course, you have to deal with, no eating. That's usually not a problem because she sleep anyway. Well, guess who decided they were going to wake up at 4 o'clock and stay awake? So by the time it was, the time for us to leave the house, and you got to remember, it was raining like crazy and everything last night and this morning. So the roads are wet. People here in Sacramento, it's just a different kind of thing. So you're trying to get from point A to point B safely. And I've got her in the car, and it was very interesting. I'm just going to say it was very interesting. Hey there, someone joined, but I don't see who it is. Say something. Vera. Okay. Hey, sis. So it was very interesting getting from point A to point B. So you guys, please, excuse my attire. I've got a t-shirt on, and I'm a press play. Let's just do what we got to do, because otherwise it's never going to happen. So I'm real adamant about pressing that broadcast button. Hello, Amit. It's at 7 o'clock, but I just couldn't because at 7 o'clock I was on freeway. So I knew that wasn't gonna happen. That's why I said noon. And then the MRI took a little longer. Hey, Renee. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the heart. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for being here. So Kylie, MRI took a little longer than, my baby's had 24 spine surgeries, 2 hip surgeries, and 2 feet and ankle surgeries in her. I'll say she's 16 now, but I'm saying her last one was when she was 12. So between 4 and 12, she had all those surgeries every 6 months. December, June, we went back to Shriners for the surgeries. And so anesthesia is not a foreign thing to her, but it's been a while, and it's like, okay. So like I said, she decided that of sleeping scene. So I apologize. When I walk in the door, I gotta start in the. So I went from one thing to another, and here I am. I'm so glad to be here. This is still the word of the day. It's the word of the afternoon, as opposed to the morning. So let me introduce myself for those of you who are on Periscope who don't know me. My name is Marissa. I am the CEO and founder of God's Chosen Vessel, and I am also the creator of the Embrace Formula. And every day we have a word of the day. Usually it's at 7 o'clock Pacific time, but because of some obligations I had with my baby girl, hey Allison, I wasn't able to do it. So I'm just getting to the point where I can sit down and press play. And so here I am. This is an exercise to help you to practice changing your perception. Hello, Black Music, clawback music. I like that. Thank you for this. Is your first time on Periscope? Oh, okay. Welcome. And so it's not to take the place of your devotion, but it's to help you to learn how to look at things from a different angle. Sometimes we are so quick to think negatively. So what we do in this exercise, and you can feel free to journal these thoughts. We pull a word, and they're just everyday words. Some of them tend to have some negative overtones, and so you start thinking negative thoughts. But what we're trying to do, it's a bad connection, Renee. Thank you. I'm sitting right here next to the modem. It's the weather here. The weather here in Sacramento it's not loyal today. It hasn't been loyal for the last couple of days. So I'm gonna keep on rolling. But thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it, because I can't tell from this end. And so, you get these words, or it's kind of like situations in your life. It just happens, no warning. But it's the way you approach that thing and the way you look at that thing that's going to determine how you survive it, or what you get from it. okay, or if it's going to destroy you or not, or do something to you in such a negative way that it's hard to bounce back from it. So if you try to look at things from a positive position as opposed to the woe is me, then you have a better, like I say, a better chance of surviving it. You have a better chance of getting something positive from it. You have a better chance of just making your life a better experience. And so that's what we do. So what I do is I pull words from this little glass and I give you my first thought. And you might have a different thought. And so that's why I say you can journal it. If you're not one for writing things down, you can text the word to yourself and just kind of think on it, meditate on it later. But whatever your thought is when you hear the word, that's the thing I want you to meditate on, okay? And not allow anything negative to enter your psyche, your brain. Just don't even go there. Like a few days ago, I can't remember, day 4 or 5, we had the word war, W-A-R. So it's like, okay, what am I going to do with this? What in the world is positive about war? And we ended up talking about, the spiritual warfare of the mind and how being aware of that going on and where your battles really start is right here, in your mind, and how that can really be a good thing because it puts you in a position to stay prayed up. It's better. Thank you, Renee. Thank you. I just kind of shifted a little bit, so I don't know if that made a difference. Like I said, the West kooky, so I don't know. I don't know. So we're going to word today, and we're going to see what we're going to get. Life is like a box of chocolates. Okay, here we go. Discovery. Our word is discovery. Ta-da, ta-da. Discovery, Periscope family, Facebook family, discovery. Okay. First thought, first positive thought, discovery. I know today has been a day of discovery for me. Taking into consideration the rare syndrome that my daughter has been diagnosed with. One of the anesthesiologists she saw today, we had never seen her before, but she was such a beautiful, spirited person. I just thought she was just lovely. She really was. And just talking with her, and when I told her what syndrome Kylia had, she had never heard of it. And I told her, well, a lot of the doctors, professionals, they've never heard of it because it's very rare. There's less, I want to say, some documentation says less than 200 people, some say 300 people. But when you think of how many people have graced this planet to be even 300 people, that's not a whole lot to be diagnosed worldwide with this thing. So anyway, I discovered in talking to her and her reminding me of how rare this is, again, my role as a chosen vessel when it comes to being the mother of Kylia and also being the daughter of Francis. But I discovered that this road of having a child with need is it's not easy road for some people, because I hear all the time people's stories and the things that they have to endure and the things that are difficult for them to deal with because their child has unique needs. So be it the professional field, people just not knowing what to do, or people being not callous, people not understanding, and people not necessarily just professionals, but I do hear a lot of parents say that they have doctors that just kind of treat them like a number, which makes it even harder if you have a child that's nonverbal, because you need to partner with someone who has the heart for your child like you do, because it's extra difficult to figure out a lot of things since they can't tell you, I hurt here and I hurt here and this doesn't feel right. They can't tell you that. And so I discovered once again today of how blessed I am to be in a situation where I can be an advocate for other parents, number one, who don't feel they have a voice, don't know they have a voice. And that's a blessing to me, because I understand the mechanics of it all. God has opened my eyes to certain things Kylie and I have been in this partnership for almost 17 years now, 16 and a half years. My baby will be 17. And I realize the things that have just been bestowed on me and the favor, and we've never, I mean, literally never had a bad experience. All these surgeries, it's like they treat her like a princess. Shriner, she literally has her own suite, I think, because they call it the Kylia suite. We were there so much. And Kylie come, Kylia's here. People from the third floor to triage, they know Kylia, and that's just crazy because she literally grew up at that hospital, and so, that's such a blessing, and to be in that position, not because I asked for it, but because God allowed it, and it gives me a voice. When something's just not right, and maybe there's something getting lost in translation between a parent and the staff, positioning me in such a way that I can say something to the staff and there would be a change. Hey, sweetie, my daughter's on. Hey, my precious girl, I love you. And so I discovered that that doesn't happen for everyone. And I discovered, from just talking to this doctor today, that again, that's a blessing for me. I discovered today that I can do all things once again through Christ strengthens me, because I promise y'all I've maybe had an hour of sleep. And, and sometimes I marvel at the fact that he just keeps giving me energy, and he just keeps giving me the wherewithal, to just keep going. And it's just, I'm waiting for my battery to run out. But I know it's not me, but him. Yes, baby. Mwah, mwah, mwah. It's not me, it's him. And I marvel at the fact that he always puts me in a position of just, of what's the word? Not expanding, but for it's like the more I do, or the more I try to do, the more he gives me, the more he downloads in me to do. And and there's such a reward in seeing Mama, I mean, in spite of her situation, seeing her thrive in spite of this thing, this whole piece of work, this thing called Alzheimer's. In spite of that, and if anybody saw the videos from yesterday, I mean, I'm telling you, it's just, I discover every day how magnificent he is in his grace and in his mercy. I discover every day that his love is sufficient. It's really sufficient, and more than. And I marvel at the fact that not only because he is who he is, but who I am in relationship to him. Who am I? I'm just this chick that, that don't get it right all the time. I don't get it right all the time. But in spite of my humanness, he just seems fit to just always make it known that his presence he's near. Hey sis, what's up, Lisa? So, I discovered that there's no line of that I can cross as far as the fatigue or just, getting to them. There's nowhere I go mentally and physically that he's not going to meet me and supply. Hey, Patricia. So today and every day is a day of discovery, because I find myself addicted to awe, if that makes any sense. And what I mean by that is every day I realize as the sun goes down, there's this feeling I get of being so in tune and so aware of what he has done in the past X number of hours. I don't take that for granted. And I discover, if I sit down and think about it, our word is discovery, you guys. Discover. That's the word I pulled. I discover that if I allow myself to just sit for just a few minutes, there's so many things in the course of the day that are brand new. Those mercies, they're brand new. I said, well, you wake up every day, but I don't see that waking up the same every single day. Every single day it feels different. It just feels a little different. And so I'm constantly aware of that thing that he's doing. Yeah, discover. Yeah, it's a good word. It really is. Really is. I want to know your thoughts on it, Lisa. Go put it on the page. I'm going to put the word. But I'm curious to know what you guys think about that. Hey, Patrice is in the house. So I discovered that every single day he's putting something. He's always downloading. He's always pushing the envelope when it comes to, okay, see, daughter, see what I'm doing. I'm doing a good thing. I'm doing a good thing. And it makes it real hard for me to see my environment, see my situation as a negative thing, as a bad thing. Even the Alzheimer's. I can't, that was a conversation I had with that doctor too today. I can't do it. I cannot sit here and honestly tell you that and it might sound crazy because I was getting ready to say it. I had to think about what I was saying. That sounds nuts. But I cannot say I loathe my situation. I cannot say that. I honestly cannot say that. It's like, well, dang, that sounds pretty cold, D. But get what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I discovered that he allows things. Who am I to go up against what he's allowing? Yes, I acknowledge the fact that it can be uncomfortable. Yes, I acknowledge the fact that if I had written a script, it wouldn't have been written like this. You know what I'm saying? But when I know that he's allowed this thing, and you're like, well, even for your mama? Yeah, even for my mama too. I don't know why. I mean, because if you knew my mama back in the day, I'm telling you, Joe Francis wasn't no joke. That right there, that was a together sister. She just, I could go on. You talk about daddy. Don't get me started on Joe Francis. I can tell you he gives you strength. That's right, to a chosen few. Now we all have that strength. I really think, Patrice, that we don't tap into it. We don't acknowledge it. We don't accept it. We don't embrace it. I really think everybody has it. I really feel that. People are wired different. Yeah, we are wired differently. But I really believe in my heart that we all can go that distance. It's going to look different for different people, but I believe we do. But we choose not to because of fear or because it gets uncomfortable. It could be very uncomfortable, but I know my days will look very, very different. That's right. Bitter. It causes a lot of people. They would be bitter. They would. Some people I know my days would be different if I took on this attitude and this mantle of just how negative and how bad Alzheimer's could be. I mean, if I allowed myself, I could just go on and on, almost to the point of cursing God. Why'd you, just, I mean, I don't even want to mock and do that. I don't even want to go there because I know I can see the grace in the thing. I can see how it's going down. I can see how he's kind of got his hand like this. No, not that. But this I want this to play out. He's protecting her with that no pain thing. Yeah. Okay, you do? Okay. He's protecting her. I can see that every single day. This thing could look so different. I have 6 very close friends who I've watched over the years take care of their parents with Alzheimer's. And I know from my own set of eyes how this thing could look. But God, because she ain't seen none. When I say none of that. Now, does it mean that she was a better person? No, I'm not saying all that. I'm not even getting that. Don't twist my words. I'm saying that for whatever reason, he has allowed this thing to go the way it's going down. Not only for her, but for me. I believe that Kylia's rare syndrome prepared me for such a time as this. I really do. And I believe everything in my life has prepared me for such a time as this. So I have discovered that he's not only is he intentional, but he's a great orchestrator. And he pulls some things together that we would never, ever think would be, for clarity. Yes, thank the Lord, that we would never, ever think would go together. It's like, well, what does this have to do with this? And what does this have to do with this? I don't understand why you putting me through all this. This is crazy, and we choose to bow out gracefully, if we had the choice. But it's like he has this way of pulling it together. He's the greatest director in the world, the greatest composer in the world. He can compose and arrange your life to be such a masterpiece if you just let him. If you discover the power that he has, and if you discover how much he loves you, and if you discover that just because there's millions of people around you, he knows you by name. He knows your situation. He knows your temperament. He created you. He knows everything about you. And he does care. And he does. It's not a frivolous thing for him, to just say, okay, you asked for that, I'll give you that. I mean, your life is important. Your life is so important that he sent his son and he died for you. I mean, people say, well, you use it all the time. Why not? I mean, what else you need? I mean, how many people would die for you? I'm just saying, not too many. And so I've discovered that he is the ultimate friend. And he's the ultimate, the word I'm looking for, that because what's closer than a friend? I mean, a true friend. What manner of man is this that would lay down his life for another? I can't, there are no words. When you try to start describing love, everybody describes it differently. It's an action word. And he puts action into motion every single day of our lives, started with us opening our eyes. So I discovered that there's no reason to really walk through this thing called life with my head bowed down, with this question mark on my forehead. If I do have questions, I simply take them to him. He knows what I'm going through. He knows how that thing is looking through my eyes. Ask him, and I ask him for his eyes. I ask him for his temperament. I ask him for his understanding. I ask him for discernment and for wisdom. These are the things that I'm always in conversation with him about, because I know when I ask for these things and he gives these things freely, these are the things that's going to make it easy for me to embrace my life. I would be remiss if I said I didn't ask for some monetary things every now and then. I try not to be greedy. A couple of coins, as my sister Patrice would say, just a few coins. I don't need a lot, just coins. I need some coins. That's right, baby. Just give me some coins. That's all I want, and just to make sure things are flowing around here. But outside of that, D-Mac don't ask for much. I really don't. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Just not having that attitude of, a whole lot of needing. But he tends to just pour blessings out for those, I believe, that are trying to walk in his will and making something out of their life, in the sense, right? That's good. Right. When you try to keep that thing in line with him, that vertical love, and keep that vertical communication going on, so that you will always be in line with what it is, what will he has for your life. Discover, I think that's true, that your true happiness and true purpose, finding out what his will is. Because he has a funny way of making his will your will. It's like, I never thought of that. That's better than what I wanted. He has a way of doing that. And so, I know how I started in life and the things I wanted to do as a kid. And, and I look at my life now and it's like, wow, look how he orchestrated that thing. Because I'm honestly, I'm always wanted to do. I'm that kid. You go to church and there's always that little girl, 7 to 8 years old. She always got somebody's baby on her hip, walking around, and she a baby herself. That was me. That was me. Always messing with somebody's child and taking care of and thinking you the mama somewhere. That was me. So, he has a funny way of just bringing that thing full. What is it? Full term or full fruition. It's hilarious. But discover is a good word. Discover your purpose. Discover how everything that you might take for granted during the day is really a big deal. Discover how he orchestrates our lives in such a beautiful way. If we just sit down and get in harmony. Oh, that's a good metaphor. Discover the harmony that he orchestrates. You know what I'm saying? And just get in tune with that. Oh, wow. I'm really playing on words here. But just get in tune with that thing. And life would be so sweet. Life would be so sweet. The thing that we think is hard, if we get in line with his melody, there go another metaphor. I'm on a roll here, then really just, you'll see your life. I know it happened for me when I stopped fighting against what was going on in my life. When I stopped trying to, I love to call myself. You better go back and watch your own replay and write it down. I know that's right. You got that right, Trace. So I think you need to, just really, make a nice theme, huh? What was I getting ready to say? I was getting ready to say, I forgot my train of thought. That's one thing, you guys. Hi, Annette. You'll find that I talk, y'all, and I ramble a little bit, and sometimes I get lost in my own words. But I was getting ready to say something. I think it was a good point, too. Oh, well, it'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. But discover everything that you probably see every day and take for granted, But that means sitting down and getting quiet and listening. There is something to be said about getting up early and just being quiet and talking to him and listening, because a real conversation is not one way. So it's not all about you telling him what you want. It's about listening and seeing maybe what he wants from you. It's kind of a two-way street. Or try this. How about that, prayer and praise? How about just a praise fest in the morning as opposed to a prayer request? How about just a praise fest? I'm going to get up and I'm just going to praise you for, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. Just straight. That's it. I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing. Not right now. Maybe later. But right now, it's all about you. Let me just praise it. Watch how how your day is different. Watch how he will. Yeah, that's what you do. Sing, honey, sing them praises in the shower. That's what I'm saying. Some awesome acoustics, too, in the shower. You a bad mamma jamma in the shower, even if you're not in the car, right? Hey, Deborah. So, I'm just saying, you just do that. Your day will be so different. And if you ask him to open your eyes to discover these new things, it's like, Lord, forgive me. I've been taking that for granted. Did I say thank you for that? Well, let me say thank you right now. You'll be surprised how much he start revealing some stuff to you, because you're showing him you want to get to know him. You want to spend some time with him outside of the begging and pleading and the major request. I really want to get to know you. He's your friend, right? Discover the friendship with him. Yesterday we talked about fathers. Discover him as a friend. A real friend. A real friend. And what do you do with your friends? Do you call your friends once every 3 years? Or, you got something to sell. You got something to, your kid is selling some candy bars. So let me, you know what I'm saying? Or are friends people that you at least, you build a relationship, even if it's not every day, but there's something that you use to nurture that relationship. Okay. So same here. You can't just call him on the whim, and he'll come, because he's not going to forsake you. But I know I would feel kind of janky if you only come around when you need something. That's just me. So my suggestion would be discover your friendship with him. Work on how you can build that. You know what I'm saying? How you can build that. And I think once you discover what that looks like for just you, then your eyes will be open to so many other things, like the experience I had this morning. I kind of take it for granted. I do what I do, but talking to that doctor just kind of made me feel some kind of way this morning. I'm thinking, you know what, you grace me with this every single day of my life, and I just don't think about it, because this is what I do. But when talking to her and seeing that other people don't get it, they don't, for whatever reason, and it's not to slight their situation, because everybody's different, excuse me, but it was just a reminder. And I just, there was a discovery there, in the sense that, okay, I need to pay attention a little more to what you give me every single day, and I just, that's what you do. You're God. Thanks. So I encourage you to take the time to discover what he does for you on a daily. And be specific with that thing. Because some of my mama used to say all the time when somebody would give us something, and she taught us to say yes ma'am, no ma'am, thank you, please, but but don't let too many seconds pass between when somebody hand you something and you say thank you, because mama was quick to say ain't nobody got to do nothing for you. I'm just saying, ain't nobody got to do nothing for you. So keep that in mind as you being very oblivious to the blessings that he gives you every day. Because he probably won't say it, because he ain't that kind of God, but I'm going to say it. Anybody got enough for you? I'm just saying. So you might want to take the time to say, thank you, sir. Much obliged. As I sit here and discover everything you've done for me just in the last 5 minutes. Let's start that. You're healthy. You're sitting here listening to me go and go. So your hearing is okay. It's all good. I'm just saying because I love you. All right, y'all. My battery's about to go out on Periscope. Facebook is looking a little janky, so I don't know what's really going on. I love y'all. Embrace your life. Come on. I think we can all say it together by now. Embrace your life. Embrace your purpose. And I added, cherish your time. God opened your eyes and gave you another chance. Don't blow it. Get it right. Okay, make it count, y'all. Love you. Word of the day. Discovery. I'm going to go post. It's going to take me an hour nap. Maybe. At least sit here and chill for a little bit. Love y'all. Peace.